Welcome to our house. I'm Dr. Collins. It's my beautiful wife, Jacqueline. And you guys are going to get an inside look at what we're planning on doing with building our little permaculture food forest, raised garden beds. Along the house here are some of the plants that are going to be going in the ground soon. And you guys are going to get to come along with us on that journey as things develop and start to mature and hopefully feed us lots of good organic food.
Sorry, I had something in my tooth.
We're excited because about a year ago we bought this house, and now I finally have a plot of land to deploy all of my dreams of food forest and perennial vegetables and things. So we've been working on the inside for like the last year, getting that up to par so Mama's happy and she feels comfortable, and we have a space to bring a baby into now. We're about to pop in 3 weeks. My project has been underway though the last month or two, as I am preparing the way for fruit trees and perennial vegetables. So it's really important to me because in the past I've had raised beds like at my parents' house where there was land, but now in my land, this is a place where I can do it, you know, to my heart's content. So zone 1 in permaculture, you hear about different zones in proximity to the house. For us, zone 1 is going to be 7 raised beds where we have our annual vegetables, and then moving out from that and sort of a perimeter around the house is going to be fruit trees and perennial vegetables and herbs and different foods, so that we're able to avoid going to fresh market and Publix as much as possible, know what we're eating, and we're healthy.
And he actually took a lot of time planning it out and looking at what we eat, what we would actually use the most often, like sweet potatoes, and instead of things that, oh, we should just grow this, that would be cool to grow, things that we actually would use and eat.
In this series, we want to take you around the house, around the property, and see what we're doing. I want to show you kind of step by step as I'm planning things, why I'm doing that, in the hopes that you guys can glean something from that and start to incorporate it on whatever scale in your house, in your place. I've been busy building the fence. Fence was the first stage, locking the yard in, blocking it off, so from there I could start to build the beds. Mulch is the primary component when you're talking about permaculture and fruit trees, so it can start to decompose down, turn into the fungus and then the good dirt to try to help condition this sandy soil in Florida. So that was step 1, is getting everything fenced off, get some beds set up, and then from there, on the other side I've got drip irrigation already set up for the trees, but we're going to do a drip irrigation coming off the sprinkler line through here. And then we'll have fruit trees set up based on the size that they'll be when they're mature, spaced out. We went to Excalibur fruit trees and we got some really good varieties to start putting in the ground. Check it out. It's guava. These are the flowers. This one is a little old now. This is a red lady papaya. So you can see it's starting to transition from looking like a little bromeliad flower to really starting to look like a pineapple with the little pineapple top up here. And if you look down, you can even see the beginning of what will be a new pup. So a little side shot. They're also called ejos, which is like a little child. When that grows out, I'm going to be able to plant that, and it's going to be a new pineapple pup that will create a pineapple and start fruiting way faster than from scratch. This is a mulberry. You're going to start to see new growth happening now. So these guys are going to be big branches. They start off more like that. So something cool Jackie did is she wrote the day we planted it. My job was to come. But on this one, you'll start to see this new growth coming through. Look at this little baby. That's how you know it's happy. This tree's gonna grow fast. And it's gonna have tons of star fruit. The other name for it's carambola. This is a jackfruit. This tree really gets going, and it's big and bushy and beautiful. The fruit that it produces are very unique and subtropical. They will be almost look like melons that are hanging from the sort of lower part of the tree. It'll have these giant melons around it, and it'll almost look like a papaya if you opened it up, but they're really sweet. This is a yellow variety that'll taste almost like a starburst. This is a Jaboticaba, my favorite tree. We bought it big because it grows so slow. But what's unique about it is it already has these little purple fruits you can see here. They grow on the trunk, which is very unusual. It's like Avatar, I don't know. But they get these green little balls that turn purple. From what I hear, it's the flavor of a grape with a slightly harder skin, so you don't have to worry about fruit flies and stuff. But really, really cool tree. Very unusual, very unique, my favorite. Blackberry Jam. I don't even know what the real name of this bush tree is, but it was called Blackberry Jam at Excalibur. And it's these little pods. It's not the sexiest or coolest fruit. It's actually kind of strange. But you pop off one of these little pods. It's got kind of a hard shell. And you crack it with your teeth. And inside, there's seeds inside, but they're covered in this, what tastes like blackberry jam coating. So it's kind of a novelty, but it is sweet. You can kind of suck it out. Is it gross? Sapodilla. The best way I could describe the flavor is like a pear dipped in brown sugar and kind of baked a little bit, and then it's about the size, the fruit will be about the size of a kiwi-ish, but man, these are good. This is a smaller variety of it. It's called Silas Woods. Otherwise, like an Aloe Sapodilla, the tree will be 40 or 50 feet. I don't have room for that. This one should be like 8 to 10 feet, they said, at Excalibur. We'll see. This is an Atamoya, which could be a whole interesting conversation about sugar apples and cherimoyas and these different, I guess they're from the Andes, maybe, mountains? I don't know. I might be making that up. But this is a cross between a cherimoya and I think a sugar apple. And it takes the best of both, so it can grow in this climate instead of the Andes. But they're supposed to be really sweet, kind of a weird looking fruit that's knobby on the outside. It's green, and when you cut it open, it has kind of a firm white flesh. It's supposed to be really, really good and sweet. So these two here are going to be up front in the fruit hedge fedge area. These are Groomy Chama cherries, and I've never eaten them, but apparently they're really, really good. And so up front there'll be 3 different varieties of cherries that can grow in Florida. What's sitting in front of you is a lacatan. That is your Chiquita banana. And then everything else is all weird ones that are supposed to be way better and sweet and amazing. Namois, Sweetheart, and which one is this? Goldfinger. The last two were part of a project, I can't remember the country that did it, maybe Honduras, where they did a lot of breeding to help with like pests and infections. They're not wild bananas. They've been made. These are Red Lady papayas, Lowe's special. They grow super fast like weeds in Florida. Get prolifically tall, shoot off new plants at the base once they're in. I'm gonna put these up against a fence line, but amazing for digestion, just GI health. Papayas are awesome, and they just grow so good here, you'd be crazy not to plant them. Day in and day out, I see people that are experiencing a lot of health issues that are related to their gut and have been exposed to antibiotics. They eat a lot of things that aren't really congruent with the human body, and the bacteria in your gut breaks it down. You almost get like dysbiosis is what it's called, where it's just bad bacteria. You think about a lot of commercial meats and sugar and wheat and things like this. Ideally, from a health standpoint, you want to consume a lot of vegetation, salads, good quality organic fruits and vegetables and things like this, so that distills down in your GI and the bacteria that's inside of your gut that helps feed your immune system, and a lot of other stuff is healthy. I have 2 different varieties of mango currently. The most raved about variety of mango is coconut cream. That's this guy. They grow really weird patterns. They're kind of weepy and gnarly in their growth habits, and you can already get a sense of that by how it's shaped. But this was bred by Zill Nurseries and is supposed to be the best mango you can get. The other one we got is this guy right here, and this is called a Mahashanak. This is a tree that is specific to Excalibur. In fact, they have the first one that ever existed planted there that they pull all of the starts and pups off of. This is supposedly an amazing mango for being both early and late in season. This is a UF best variety peach tree. It's a peach tree that's been bred to survive in Florida. On it, you'll already see some little peaches growing. So this is a relatively small tree. It's going to be about 15 to 20 feet across as it grows up, and these peaches are going to be a lot bigger, but this is the first peaches so far. It's our first plant that we put in the ground. Over here's the second. This is a fig tree. This will be like a 10, maybe 15 foot tree when it's mature, but it's a brown turkey fig. Right now, this is the beginning of what will be a little
Privacy fence.
Crown up front, little like horseshoe that will have bananas, Barbados cherry, Grumichama cherries, but a lot of bananas. This is one, there'll be a couple more next to it, and then on the ends there'll actually be little packs of bananas as well. So this will be sort of a privacy from the front yard blocking off, but also full of food. You could call it like a fedge, a food hedge. And then right behind it is a coconut palm, a couple of them, which are amazing.
My roses are on fire. They're so pretty. If only you could smell them. But only this rose bush. Because this is all.
That's a white rose bush.
These are the prettier ones. They're like a baby pink white rose, but this one doesn't do as well as that one. And I put coffee grinds on them, and I think it really helps.
We're gonna put a gardenia bush in here, which is a really pretty flower. It almost kind of looks like a rose. And then whatever else she wants, flower-wise, and maybe even we were talking about medicinal herbs in here. And then over on this side, doesn't look like much, but this bed is gonna be all avocado and mango trees. So I almost want this to be an orchard of really just fire avocados that are spaced out by when they bloom. So avocados will bloom for about a 2-month period, but I'd like to be able to go from like August all the way through January, February with each tree kind of firing off mangoes and then avocados on their time. My goal with doing this is, you know, beyond the beauty of being surrounded by fruit trees and, you know, the land being cooler and beautiful, is, man, for my health, for my wife, for my kid, I want to have all of us consuming organic fruits and vegetables that are making our bodies strong and healthy over time.
Especially since sometimes at the grocery store it's hard to find the organic veggies that you want. If you could just grow them in your backyard instead of planting something that just looks pretty, something that's pretty and you can eat, why wouldn't you?
What got me into this whole thing with plants, it started with my mom and Aloe. So in college, I would come home and surf because I was away at school and there was no waves, but I would get burned because I was pale skinned, and my mom actually rubbed aloe on my back instead of using a commercial lotion or something. And it blew my mind that you could take this plant, open it up, and it would cause that burn to go away. So from there, that's what piqued my interest in plants and got me going into like raised beds and annual vegetables and things like this. It all started with aloe. So we hope that you enjoyed this beginning tour of what will be our food forest, and that you'll stick around and continue to follow our journey as things develop and grow, and get some tips and info along the way as well. Anything else? Bye. So you can see these pretty roses here. Shh. Stop. Go lay down. Go.